For 9 days, the richest baby in the city hadn't eaten a single bite. Not milk, not soup, not even his favorite mashed fruit. Doctors were confused. Nurses were terrified. And the millionaire parents were breaking down. Then something unbelievable happened. A black maid, hired just 3 weeks earlier, stepped into the nursery, bent down beside the crib, and whispered one sentence. What she did next made the baby eat instantly. And when the parents found out why it worked, they fell to their knees crying. Chapter 1. The baby who had everything. 0:40 to 4 o'clock. Little Ethan Carter was just 2 years old, yet his name already appeared on trust funds worth millions of dollars. Born to Richard and Olivia Carter, tech tycoons living in a glass mansion overlooking the city, Ethan had the best toys money could buy, the private pediatrician on call, 3 nannies working in shifts, a nursery bigger than most apartments. Yet despite all that, Ethan was fading. 9 days ago, he had pushed away his bottle. At first, everyone thought it was a phase. Teething, one nurse said. Attention-seeking, another nanny whispered. But by day 5, Ethan's cheeks were hollow. By day 7, his tiny hands shook. By day 9, doctors whispered outside the room. If this continues, one said quietly, we may lose him. Chapter 2. Desperation inside a mansion. 4 to 7:30. Olivia Carter sat beside the crib, eyes red, mascara smudged. She tried everything, singing lullabies, feeding him herself, offering his F.A. Vorite golden spoon. Ethan turned his face away. Richard, a man who once negotiated billion-dollar deals without blinking, slammed his fist into the wall. I'd give everything, he whispered, just to see him eat again. That's when the head nurse cleared her throat. There's one more person who hasn't tried. They both looked confused. The new maid, the nurse said. Her name is Grace. Chapter 3. The maid no one noticed. Grace Johnson was hired quietly. A black woman in her early 30s. Soft-spoken. Always respectful. She cleaned floors. Folded laundry. Never spoke unless spoken to. Most staff barely noticed her. Some even questioned why she was allowed near the baby at all. But Grace had been watching Ethan cry silently at night, watching him stare at the door, watching him clutch a tiny, worn-out blue cloth, a cloth no one recognized. When the nurse asked Grace to try feeding him, the room went silent. Olivia hesitated. Richard frowned. But they had no options left. 5 minutes. Richard said coldly. Grace nodded. Chapter 4. What Grace saw that others missed. Grace entered the nursery alone. No doctors. No parents. Just her. And Ethan. She didn't rush. She didn't pick up a spoon. Instead, she knelt beside the crib and gently said, Baby, you miss her, don't you? Ethan froze. His eyes, dull for days, suddenly moved. Grace picked up the blue cloth. Tears filled her eyes. You smell her here, Grace whispered. That's why you don't eat. Ethan whimpered. Grace took a deep breath and whispered the sentence that changed everything. Your real mama used to sing before feeding you, didn't she? Ethan let out a soft cry. Chapter 5. The first bite in 9 days. Grace began humming. A low, gentle lullaby. Not a fancy song. Not a rich one. Poor woman's lullaby. Slowly, Ethan opened his mouth. Grace gently lifted the spoon. He ate 1 bite, then another. Then he cried and ate at the same time. The door burst open. Olivia screamed. Richard staggered backward. Doctors rushed in. But Grace simply stepped aside, tears streaming down her face. He was never sick, she said softly. He was grieving. Chapter 6. The secret that shattered the millionaires. What do you mean, grieving? Olivia whispered. Grace hesitated. Then she spoke. Ethan was not born to you. Silence. Richard's face turned pale. Grace continued. I know because I knew his birth mother. The room spun. Grace revealed the truth. 2 years ago, a young poor woman named Maria gave birth at a charity hospital. She loved her baby deeply, but was sick, terminally sick. With no money, no family, she made the hardest choice of her life. She gave her baby up to the Carters. Maria died 3 months later. But before she died, she gave Grace, her sister, a blue cloth and a lullaby. To remind him, Maria said, that I loved him. Chapter 7. The guilt no money could erase. Olivia collapsed. She remembered the adoption agency, the rushed paperwork, the refusal to meet the birth family. We didn't think it mattered, Olivia sobbed. Richard fell to his knees. All the toys, all the money, all the luxury. Yet they had erased the one thing Ethan needed most, his mother's memory. Grace knelt too. I didn't come here for money, she said. I came because I couldn't let him forget her. Chapter 8. A different kind of family. That night, everything changed. Grace was no longer the maid. She was family. The Carters asked her to stay, not as staff, but as Ethan's aunt. They built a small shrine in the nursery. Maria's photo, the blue cloth, the lullaby playing softly every night. Ethan ate. Ethan laughed. Ethan lived. Final message/moral. Money can buy comfort, but love leaves fingerprints money never can. Sometimes the smallest voice carries the biggest truth, and sometimes the person everyone ignores is the one holding the answer. Bell end screen CTA. Backhand index pointing right like if this story touched your heart. Backhand index pointing right subscribe for emotional stories with powerful lessons. Backhand index pointing right comment. Do you believe love is stronger than money?